team fights and do a better job there. It's always the test for me.
Yeah, I have to see what they can do as a team, get the teamwork down. We saw in that last game, despite only having 3 days of practice, Joki's Kickers were able to synergize once again, bring themselves back to pulse days.
Yeah.
And then have Mockler and Livick. But like you said, it's about the synergy. How well can you work with your teammates? We're going to have to see what they do here. And Jax, like these bans pretty standard coming out here across the board.
Yeah. Well, 3 mid lane bans, though, aimed at Tiridus. Nidalee, Zed, LeBlanc, his main plays right there. So some of them are actually still available. But we'll see if he gets anyone that he cares about or if he's kind of one of those all-around mid laners. It's weird with mid lane picks because they have their most played in solo queue, and it's nothing like what they play in competitive. Like, very few of them have, like, my most played Soraka, but, like, they all play competitive when it comes down time for it.
Yeah, everybody can pretty much pull out anything. When you get to a certain level, you practice everything that's meta, and it's very hard to ban you out.
Yeah.
But the people who can be banned out, you're a big liability to your team. And you're very exploitable.
It very much is. Well, we're going to see if that ends up being the case for these guys. Right now, Kha'zix insta-lock there for Tricked, most likely in the jungle for Mowarth. Meanwhile, SK Prime, Lulu, and Yasuo picked up, so already some great picks.
Great synergy there, too, between the two of them. And also the fact that Lulu could be support. It could be a top lane Lulu, which is not unheard of, especially in the European
in Europe.
You know, it's very, I wouldn't say popular, but it's not uncommon.
Yeah. Well, it's in Smitty's lineup. It's his 3rd most played in solo queue, so a guy plays a lot of mages. Vladimir's in there as well for what it's worth, though unlikely to be the actual grab there. But yeah, we got to see where people go with this one. watdefox is a bit of a Yasuo player, so that really could be where those two guys go. Tricked, though, looking at the lineup, they've got a lot of places they could go with it. All 80 carries are available, only 1 support ban. They've already got the top tier jungler as well for themselves, so that's an easy one to pick up. We're going to go Morgana Lucian, so bot lane pretty much among the top of what's left. They say, okay, we've got the core here, the solos still to be shown.
Yeah, and they don't have really any worry here. Twitch could be picked up. You know, it is in Zeiss' champion pool. But if it is a support Lulu, that versus a Morgana, it's kind of difficult to pull off the early game. Like Lulu will harass, Morgana will bind you, but then Lucian has so much trading potential.
Yeah.
That if one binding does land, you pretty much have to back off of the lane, and Twitch is not good in that situation. You always want to have somebody who helps you get further up, creates openings for you.
So instead they go for Karma. I like this pick, actually. Great aggressive laner, still to show their 80 carry, so you don't know for sure what it's going to be, but it pretty much guarantees that, yes, it will be top lane Lulu, mid lane Yasuo. By the way, both blind picked here.
Yeah.
And then they still haven't shown their 80 carry, but they really wanted to Lee Sin to make sure MikeyR didn't play it.
Yeah, Zaitan plays the support Karma, but there's no Karma mid here for watdefox.
Yeah.
He just plays
He's a Yasuo player.
He's going to play the Yasuo.
That's the likely grab.
And Smitty, like you said, 3rd most played is Lulu. So that's what's rounding out the composition here. It's going to be a Lee Sin jungle. And then they're waiting on their 80 carry pick. But they've taken a lot here for themselves. In terms of mid laners, because, I mean, LeBlanc's gone, Ziggs, Soraka, Lulu, Yasuo, Karma, now really forces him to play the Orianna, which is pretty good matchup versus the Yasuo. Does pretty damn well.
Generally, you're going to be all right with this one. Of course, we got the Wombo combo as well. The Shyvana Orianna. It's kind of like the original. Like end of season 2 or like middle of season 2. Like this is the engage comp. Back then it was jungle Shyvana.
Yeah.
But Shyvana Ori was always kind of a big combo that I used to see a bunch of. So that's the team here. Shyvana top, Kha'zix jungle, that whole big set of pain right here. SK Prime going to do more follow-up for their hard engage. Graves shows. So you've got a Lee Sin who can kind of go get into the fight, have a knockup come through from Lulu, have Yasuo follow in, and Karma can try to kind of support from there in the back line. So interesting lineup. It's a pretty high damage lineup for SK Prime.
Yeah, and I love the fact that Graves is seeing more and more play simply because he's pretty good against lane bullies. He has the True Grit, which will give him extra defensive stats in the early game. Works very well for him, and he can trade back effectively.
Yeah.
And he can clear waves, too, under turrets.
Well, as we get to late game, yeah, he might be a main wave clearer. Good thing about SK Prime is actually a pretty good wave clear, right? They've got really good turret defense. Yasuo can put the wind wall in front of the turret, kill the wave off. Graves, Karma, Lulu, all great at that as well. So I gotta say, SK Prime's siege defense is very good. so Tricked might have to do something else to close the game out if they do get ahead. But at the same time, they've got great team fight engage. Shyvana, Kha'zix, Orianna, so good at starting battles out. Both these teams have, I guess, a couple of different things to rely on.
Yeah, and I want to see what Team Tricked pull out, because we haven't seen anything from them. Like, their champion picks are pretty standard across the board.
Yeah.
The Orianna into the Shyvana is really good.
Sure.
Can they lock them up? Can they get to that back line, though? And here's the thing, too, is the Orianna ball on somebody like Shyvana can't be stopped by wind wall. Whereas if you just throw the ball out, it can be stopped by wind wall. It gets stymied in front of it.
So it'll give you guaranteed shockwaves unless you can flash away from him. That'll be a true test of skill for these guys. Tricked on blue, SK Prime on red, and here we go.
Coming straight out of the gate here, Doran's ring in the top lane with some support, some utility in there for Smitty. He at least has 9 to get himself the biscuit.
Yeah, actually, it's an interesting thing about that. So in North America and Europe, almost everyone who plays mages goes 9 points defense. Like Bjergsen does it, Hai does it. To my recollection, like Peke and all the live in Europe EU mid laners run that. But all the Korean mids actually still go 9 utility. Faker does it.
Is that for the buff duration or is it for the biscuit?
Yeah, they get buff duration.
Yeah.
They actually typically don't go biscuit. They get buff duration basically. So
that's what I would assume.
Yeah. I mean that would be why you go 9 utility in the first place. Smitty, of course, not on the correct side of the map to get blue buffs, but still wants 9 utility for the extra mana regen, the biscuits and whatnot.
Oh, they have the Morgana, so if they don't back and they end up... Oh, it's there!
Point blank finding, big damage comes through. First blood claimed. Already, Trick starting out well.
And the Nordic East teams are just like, invade.
The aggro level 1s,
whether they die or they get the kills, it's full-on aggression. Full-on aggression there. There you go.
Well, it lets Niko pick up a whole bunch more consumables. Green ward, pink ward, health, and mana potions all grabbed there. And they already got the aggressive early ward in their opponent's Wraith Brush, so they'll be able to track Lee Sin's movements pretty well.
Now watdefox.
Such a great name.
Sitting in the mid lane. He's like, I'm not even going to give any information about where we're starting. But of course, because of the ward that they placed earlier, they know what side of the map. And Gilius is going to be on.
Yeah. I like that Gilius actually smited early. It allowed his Lee Sin Q2 to do more damage because he had already gotten the ward down to spot that Kha'zix was on the other side of the map. So it was safe to burn your smite early.
Zai's and Zaitan play together an awful lot. So they have bot lane synergy. Got to see how it matches up against Salna and Niko.
We're going to see how it plays out. Right now, Tiridus in the 1v1, level 2 Orianna versus level 1 Yasuo. Early damage lead does go to Ori, but now as they both reach level 2, I want to see how the battles commence. watdefox did actually start Q. It's not always normal for Yasuo. I see a lot of guys will start E for the trading, but in this matchup didn't want it. Nice empowered Q, going to land on a 2 right there, so good damage coming through. Hook lane is strong for these guys. Gilius has his smite back up. We'll be grabbing that one. Mowarth, very similar situation, so level 3 now on both junglers. You could go jungle for now.
Yeah, the sweeping wind stack is really good. The amount of damage you do at 4 stacks at level 1 against somebody who is also level 1 like that is immense. You see it bullying it around. So this is a good Yasuo player. You've already seen it now.
He's out CSing so far, and he's getting the damage through, so this could be great. Hasn't burned his potion just yet. MikeyR and Smitty gonna have that battle come through. Mowarth, though, up in the back line, some good damage. Nice jump through, though, but the slows are there. Here comes Lee Sin to turn it around. Lands the Q. Mowarth.
Oh, is he gonna line up a double knockup?
Ooh, flash knockup on a Tiridus. Gets into turret range, though. Burns summon or heal to stay alive. If he had Ignite, that was... Oh, the Q lands! He gets it! And the ward hop to get away. Gilius, awesome play.
That was so fluid. And the fact that they were able to communicate that. He was basically saying, I'm not gonna blow a flash and a heal from my mid laner for just a flash. We gotta get a little more out of it for that one.
That was awesome. That's, I think, my best play of the day so far. That was great right there.
That one made me legit go crazy. I was like, what is happening? That was so far. The flash, the lack of hesitation there was amazing.
That was all kinds of great. So, here we go. Ziz and Zaitan still pushing down. MikeyR actually forced under his turret now. Looks like this early Lulu grab is working out in the laning phase. You're seeing, oh wow, MikeyR, oh, the Glitter Lance missed. Lee Sin, though, on the flank. I don't know if there's anywhere for Shyvana to go. Oh, there's no minions left. If he landed the Glitter Lance, that was a kill. If the Glitter Lance landed, he was dead.
Yeah, he was going to be completely just retired to the fountain at that point. And now they're just going to get the top turret, some damage onto it. Stops the harass.
Oh, I missed one. What a scrub.
No longer a good Yasuo player.
That's not
I take it back.
Still a phenomenal Yasuo player.
Take it back.
I'm just disagreeing with you right now.
There's actually a severe lack of really good Yasuo players, in my opinion, in the NA and EU scene. I feel like all of the really good ones are Korean players. They're just immensely good at Yasuo. Like, it's like basically a standard pick that you add to your champion pool. It's almost like the Ziggs over here. Like everybody plays Ziggs.
Okay.
It's like over there, everybody plays Yasuo. Whether it's to carry solo queue,
sure,
or whether it's to win competitive matches, you at least know how to play it. And some people have really outstanding ones.
Yeah.
Just thinking about OGN right now.
Yeah, awesome champion to play. We'll see if more guys are going to learn him over time. Right now, though, we got watdefox, who does play him. He's winning by 13 CS in his lane. He got his jungler kill for second blood in the mid lane.
That's the thing, is I'm seeing a lot of really good play from him. He's got really high CS this early in the game. He's doing fantastically well against an Orianna, who has exhaust, which is something that you're like, every time I use my last breath, I'm going to get exhausted before I drop down and do my damage.
Yeah.
Complete opposite of what you want is Yasuo, and he's going to shut him down quite a bit. And the fact that they're running the double exhaust meta between their mid laner and their support.
They've got really good ways of dealing with the assassins, though. But look at this trade there. Ziz getting really good damage on Niko. Is going to be able to black shield all the damage out from the Karma, but it's going to be okay.
Bottom lane is going in favor of SK Prime, but there is a level advantage for Team Trick.
You know, something I want to point out, actually. So the first blood went to Niko, who recalled and bought more items, and he bought all consumables. He's burned through all those potions now and has had to recall what SK Prime actually out CS their opponents. So all that first blood gold got spent in the lane, and they still dropped down behind in the lane. So I gotta say, SK Prime doing an awesome job in lane. They're up 300 gold despite losing a first blood. This is really, really great play for this team.
Got to defend that pink ward too, is what's going on. They know the vision game. Nope. Orianna's gonna make a move for it. Oh, he can't do anything about it.
It's okay. Gonna do what he can. There we go. Ward drops down 30 gold. Goes to Tiridus. 41 to 52 in minions. And now, of course, we've got level 6 on the mid laner, so we're gonna have any kind of even more explosive battles. Goes to the knockup. Doesn't follow through with it, but gets the damage.
There's no reason to do it right there.
Style points.
You'd pretty much get exhausted. You have no minions to retreat to.
I would trade that for exhaust, to be fair. As long as he would assume he lived.
Exhausted.
Yeah.
He had no kill potential, I'll put it that way.
No. Although, so I know the cooldown is longer than Katarina, but like Katarina ulti is actually used for harass. Top Katarina players will just hold in lane just to get damage down, because they get the cooldown back by the time they have the fight anyway.
Yes. Because a lot of her kit, people are like, oh, it's all her ultimates. Like, no, actually her abilities do a lot of damage.
Absolutely does. Well, Gilius level 6 now on Lee Sin at 8 minutes. Mowarth the same. Blue buff will be going over to Tiridus' Orianna here on the left side of the map. Once again, the teleport from MikeyR.
Smitty doesn't have one, so he has to play these team fights correctly, and I assume he will. He'll probably be around the Yasuo all of the time, just ready to create that engage.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to split push. So they're going to have a team fight answer to the split push from Mikey. Basically try to force him in.
Yeah. See if they can do it. Smitty right now is actually only winning by 6 minions, to be fair. Like the teleports have gotten him back into lane pretty successfully. Smitty hasn't gotten crazy pressure right there. He almost pulled in a gank and the dive almost worked, but we've not seen Gilius make his way back up there in quite some time. And now that Shyvana has her ulti, there might not be really any available ganks.
Mowarth has the early sweeper for himself, clears it out. Looking to apply some pressure bottom, but it's pretty much been dead even all game long. But in the fact that there are a lot of assists here across the board for TRC. I'm looking at it right now. The gold that they've acquired for themselves And the 400 gold difference, it's really just CS here for SKP.
It's absolutely CS.
It's just tiny, tiny bits.
Yeah. One thing worth pointing out, actually, I talked about it being first blood, but it was a kill after 4 minutes. So actually the kills were 280 versus 300, so pretty much equal what the kills are worth. Yeah, it's just a CS lead straight up. So Mowarth trying to go for the damage onto watdefox, though has the ulti evolved. Nice flash, keeps him safe. Gonna be all right for this one.
Uses the ultimate there. Gets himself a heal and a flash for it. Now Gilius, he's looking for some bug squashing. Gets nothing. But a ward.
Ward squash.
He gets
hey,
the
man.
ward.
Ward squash.
Oh, it made it look like he was walking away. Oh.
Ooh. All right, Mowarth does have to get away from this one. He knows he can't really contest this one. Orianna shows though and says, hey, I know about this. If I'm Mowarth, I don't know if this is the best thing to go for the kick. Can he go for it? Knocks him in. Yes, Yasuo will ulti. Do they have the damage? Exhaust burned onto Gilius. Huh. It's going to be exhaust and flash loss for that one, for a flash from Gilius.
Yeah, there's not a lot of damage on Yasuo just yet. He's still amping up
Niko!
that speed.
Oh, 700 heal burned. I don't know if he needed to with that one, but Zaitan going to take some of that damage. Very nearly took down the Morgana. Didn't flash, didn't take 700 heal, didn't get exhaust or anything. Just tanked the damage and walked out.
He's like, I'm fine. I'm fine. Calculated.
I don't know if that's true, but he did survive.
Calculated.
Okay. Well, here we go. Sauna getting pushed around now. Ziz and Zaitan doing a good job. This turret nearly gonna fall. 17 CS lead for the AD carry. These guys have outlaned their opposition. The Kale Karma pickup, definitely a good one. You saw that Ziz got to go back with a BF sword compared to the Boots and Vamp Scepter. Continued to bully with that item advantage, and the turret's down as well.
Speaking of bullying, top lane and the bottom lane, they're both going up to the turret here for SK Prime. And they're like chasing him down. He's like, I'll get you, but I want the turret.
Yep. And he does get it. Ooh. So individual play, straight up, is winning SK Prime the game. Awesome move by Gilius in the mid lane to get the kill around level 4. Bottom lane, top lane, without gank help, took their turrets down by themselves. Individual play right now winning for SK Prime.
Yeah, and the only move that was really made by Mowarth was the start of the game when the binding landed and then they picked up a kill for themselves in the bush.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only kill / assist that is being shared here on Tricked. Otherwise, pretty much just been Lee Sin, Gilius, and the side lanes wrecking.
Well, we'll see though as the first sets of items come through. Bloodthirster completed 12 minutes in for Ziz. You've got Static Shift nearly there for watdefox as well. 109 CS on this Yasuo. Having a great game for himself. Karma, Sight Stone plus tier 2. Niko the same. BT still not done for Sauna. That is an important lack of an item spike that could maybe be abused by SK Prime. We'll see if they do choose to group up. Of course, nothing to really push in the bottom lane, but they are there for now. Dragon still available on the map. Will these guys make any plays soon? We talked about the fact that one team is TP, the other does not. Right now, that's not turned into anything yet.
Yeah, he's just bullying the lane around, being Lulu at the early levels, constantly harassing the Shyvana. Now, a couple of levels here, around level 11, level 12, is when they'll be able to just push back. And he'll have the MR that he needs, as well as the sustain. And Smitty, now he's grouping up in the middle. Up. Oh. You know what? When he jumps on his broom. Is it a broom in that skin?
I would. I mean, kind of.
There's a skin.
Okay, it's not a broom.
Yeah. It sounded like he said Smitty for a second.
Okay.
I was like, oh, that's his name. That's why he's playing the Lulu.
Yep. It's the only reason. Named after himself. That's why I only play Nunubot.
Because they have your laugh.
Yep. Ha 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 ha.
That's why Mordecai's are so popular in Brazil.
There you go. Give me the push on in. Sauna, Niko. All right, just doing standard stuff. Tiridus does get his own blue buff once again. MikeyR pushed back. Smitty looked for the roam, couldn't quite find it, but he's going to push this lane even farther in now. He has one ward, but not great coverage to watch for a Kha'zix. There's other places that guy could go. The engage will kind of again. Ziz looking for the damage. Niko taking big pain. Now in towards Sauna. Not a great pulling the flash in. There's the ulti in as well. Good kill picked up. Ziz gets the credit for that one. Sauna needs to get away. MikeyR going to TP in for the flank. They're going to look for this 2v2. Can they make it happen? SKP go for the top side. There's Kha'zix though as well. Pops the ulti for that one. Jumps in. Big damage on a Ziz, but there's Lee Sin. There's a Dragon Form as well. Is it going to be enough? Oh, wow. Gilius picks up one. They're going to trade one back now. watdefox also showing up. Karma putting the damage. MikeyR not in a good spot. One more hit to go. watdefox picks up the kill. More kills going for SK Prime. 3-1 there.
At the same time, Smitty is left in the top lane. Just go ahead and split push. Now he's going to clear a wave for himself. He's got the turret to about half HP. They're going to pick up a dragon. That was a really, really good fight there for SK Prime. They ended up in the prime position. Unintentional. Don't look at me like that.
Look at you like what? I didn't do anything.
Freak gave me a look.
Of approval?
Yeah, where you were
welcome.
proud.
Oh, Shynović, nice one right there. But the problem is Tiridus, he's in the middle of 4 enemy champions. Gets the black shield, trying to get away. Not going to be enough. Did the best he could, but it was not enough there. SK Prime pick up another kill off the dragon.
And just the positioning that they've had is on point here. The way that they collapse, the fact that Smitty was able to come from the bottom all the way in.
Wow, another engaged. Mowarth forced away. Flash Q does not land. Gilius now overextended. Gonna get the shutdown gold going over to Mowarth there. Somehow he claims the kill credit for this one. Again, the re-engage. watdefox does land one more. It's gonna be 2 kills. Wow, so many falling. The mid turret also going down. Big plays.
That's the confidence that you need as a Yasuo player, and also the familiarity with the champion where you know your damage output and what you can do to people. He just crit for 300 there to pick up the gold. It was basically like, I crit you for the same amount of gold I got from killing you.
Yeah, so awesome plays individually. SK Prime looking great. 5.8 thousand gold. Put those guys ahead. 16 minutes in. Gigantic lead for these guys. They took some time, waited about 14 minutes in, and then said, let's do the team fights. And it was off of this tower dive, right? They took the outer turret, they went for the 2v2, took down a kill, and then it was a bunch of re-engagers from there. The Shyvana flanked, the team rotated down, and as soon as that happened, as soon as multiple champions got removed from the map, SK Prime says, okay, great, we'll group for Dragon, we'll group for the mid lane turret, and then anytime something showed up, they just, well, we'll dive, we'll just dive, we'll just dive, we'll just dive. And they just kept finding advantages.
Yeah. There's a pause coming out, so don't worry about it. But we saw Lulu was continuing the split push there in the top lane and had to see what happens there because he's just been bullying Shyvana all game. Yeah. Making him teleport to other lanes. And
not even succeeding when he does.
Yeah. And when he did teleport there, it was just such a great fight and peel back. They got, not only did they kill Morgana, they blew their flash for it. They blew her flash. They also blew her ultimate. So when she came back up, she also didn't have it for that next fight that happened in the middle where she got picked up by Yasuo.
True.
So yeah.
A lot of great battles. And speaking of actually great battles, I have a replay of one of the recent teams. I can get that up one there. This is the major tower dive there.
He goes straight after Mowarth, and Gilius flashes, Qs, misses it, and it costs him his life. But at the same time, watdefox says, you know what? I can figure this one out. I got it. Ends up getting the kill for himself with a little poke. Goes in, boom. Hits him, kills him. That's all he needed there. And then they just continue to push that out.
Well, yeah, you've got big item spikes, basically. You've got guys that are head static shivs already down as a big one. The Graves being ahead, even if Bloodthirster was done on both sides, Graves would have stacks, whereas that wasn't going to be the case on the other side. So it's like,
you talked about it.
Yeah, you get like it's over 900 gold worth of stats from a 0 to a full stack Bloodthirster. It's actually a pretty freaking big deal. Right, it's more than a pickaxe, and plus, of course, the lifesteal as well. So matters a whole lot. And yeah, it's just the fact that the attempted counter engage, and the thing is, it was almost the right idea. So I want to go back to that 2-1-2 fight at the bottom because I think this is what the game has been about. So okay, we started out individual skill, lanes were winning. Okay, fine, that's happening. This lead is growing, whatever. But Trick tried to use the fact that they had teleport, right? Okay, you lost your support. That sucks. Ouch, that's kind of rough. Hold on, guys. I TP'd from a brush. He's not going to stop me. Go in. Go in. I'll flank. It'll be fine. Junglers show up as well. We'll do what we can. Kha'zix came down. Problem was, they weren't big enough, right? Shyvana's only item was Spectre's Cowl. Because he's like, damn, I'm fighting a Lulu. It's really rough. I'm taking so much damage. And he's like, well, I just walked into a Graves who's fed, and a Lee Sin's got an early kill. Physical damage dealer for Spectre's Cowl. Shyvana dies. Kha'zix tries to do what he can. Problem is, if there's no real damage follow-up because because Lucian was behind, and he missed his culling, and Shyvana died right away, there's nothing there. And so, you know, they made the right choice to use teleport. Problem is, everyone was behind too much for it to matter.
Yeah, and my favorite part about how all of that ended up was the fact that, you know, they got the spells from Morgana, and then that fight happened, trailed off into the side, and then Lulu was pushing, proxies a wave and then goes into the jungle. You think she's going to loop back to the turret. She goes all the way mid to show up there and catches Orianna out of position, which allows them to push the mid turret, and then they re-engage. And we saw the replay right there where Yasuo was going really hard, and he really knew the limits of that champion.
Yeah, and that's actually the thing is the fact that Lulu roamed out, right? Ignite set a teleport, guy left the lane, shoved, and then roamed to the mid. And it's not like he moved mid to be like, I'm going to catch Orianna in this river. That wasn't the plan. It was, there's fighting over here. I'm not going to get anything else done right now. Like, auto-attacking the turret's not really that important. I'll clear it out, right? I'll allow myself to have this pressure, and I'm just going to show up mid to see what happens, because who knows what's going to be. And it ended up being that. Like, that's the right play, is get out of your lane when you get the lead, make things happen. You never know what you're going to stumble across. Right play.
Yeah, and now we're back. We see that the mid turret's been taken, but Smitty, he might get this bottom one. He's being collapsed on, though.
And still no real tank stats for MikeyR. He went for a Cutlass next, so no armor, very little health to speak of. Ziz will be destroying him in fights.
You typically go for a Bilgewater into a Blade of the Ruined King when you need to deal with somebody who's extremely tanky and deal percent HP in a trade. Yeah. When you want a split push. Now it's more for the chase potential, and can he make it to somebody? And he's not going to be getting a whole lot out of it in terms of
it's just the Cutlass and HP power.
Yeah,
exactly. He wants to try to knock someone down.
I wouldn't be surprised if he just sits on the Cutlass.
Oh, it's very likely.
Yeah.
Sunfire or Randuin's is likely next as well. I don't think he even needs to go Banshees because it's only a little bit of magic damage. Like, Cowl's a great laning item because you get all the regen from getting poked out, and that's fine. But I wanna, yeah, until he gets some armor and some real health, he's gonna be squishy.
And now, once again, teleport not available for Mikey, so he can't make it to a fight if it bursts out. And in the 4-on-4, SK Prime, they have the better wombo combo. They have the better combat.
Oh, the knockup not going to go in. Despite in the grab right there, looks like buff was given over to SK Prime properly. Smitty, in a battle with MikeyR, you're seeing Cutlass Cowl is enough to have him fight back. He's fighting only Athenes. That's not a bad build. It is allowing MikeyR to get some moves in. Problem is it going to be enough?
Yeah. Smitty has to keep the auto attack harass up, or else he's just going to sustain back up. And he recognizes that, and he says yes to back. Because if he doesn't, he's just going to lose that lane slowly but surely. Well, he's sitting on a needlessly large rod in gold. So he had a lot to cash in there. He was just waiting for that little extra burst of power.
Okay, well, it's going to be all kinds of fun for this guy. Nearly death cap. Yeah, that's rough. Nearly death cap is a good place to be. I also like the fact that he went for double Doran's ring. He's not going to get any blue buffs, and he's fighting someone who's going to be in his face. The extra health and regen is actually, I think, a very good choice there. Helps bridge the gap, not having blues. So Tiridus now grabbing his own blue once again. For everything that's been happening, SK Prime aren't really owning this blue buff. They're just kind of winning the laning phase and occasionally showing up for the team fights, but the actual jungle is not being controlled very much. They've got some wards down to the lower red buff, but they're kind of taking their time with the advantages.
Yeah, and the advantage that they have created with themselves, you know, they're just pushing it slowly but surely. They're getting the jungle camps. They're making sure that they can, you know, have complete map control. You see the warding. They have the dragon covered. They have the pink wards up. They also have their left side covered too. They have a lot of options here. And once you take those outer turrets, there's something we didn't see in the previous game, is that you have to ward up their jungle. You have to apply pressure to their jungle, especially if you're behind, but when you're ahead, it's much easier to execute. And SK is doing it really well. There's TP up here, but now that Smitty's pushed up so far, the fact that if Mikey TPs to a fight, he will lose the turret. So they have to get something out of the fight, unlike last time.
Yeah, true. Gotta be super worth it. And the problem is, the farther you get behind in gold, like, these lanes are already going poorly. And the game's already getting worse and worse over time. So you have this, like, pressure where you've got to make some kind of play, or the game just gets out of your grasp, and until they find it, it's just going to get worse and worse.
Yeah, and here's the thing, too, is that Mikey, he would teleport into a bunch of physical damage dealers.
Yep.
So it would not work out for him at all. He's going to get this turret, actually, this wave.
Most likely.
Ori's
running him up. Ooh, I don't know if it's going to be in time, though. Look at that. MikeyR is tanking the wave, just trying to get off the turret. And he's like, okay, well, now Ori's here, and it does make them back off. So this wave, not going to clean the turret just yet. Good move by Tiridus to defend.
But that puts 2 on the left side of the map.
Yeah.
When Dragon's up now.
And look at that. The team converging right now. Lulu can't show up, but who cares? He's going to square off against Orianna, a matchup both players I'm sure have been used to at some point.
I don't know. It's a top lane Lulu.
Yeah, okay, to be fair, it's one that Orianna would know. We'll see. Not a lot of top Oriannas in EU West. It's okay. Dragon does go down, though. More gold, 7,000 now to SK Prime. It's a pretty significant lead. 25% right there. Good smite there, plays with the Wraith.
I was like, he's got to kill that, or else.
You can't give away the Wraith camp and the Dragon. That's just way too much.
Yeah.
Type in GG if that happens.
And now, see, they're pushing the top lane. Still, Smitty has that pressure on. It's all about this split push here from him. He can't TP into the fight. He needs to apply this pressure, and he's doing a fantastic job, but he's taking Orianna up there.
Exactly, and that's someone that can't TP out anyway, so heck, even if they do just kind of trade equal, the rest of the team's still ahead.
Converging onto Yasuo in the bottom lane. See what he can do here.
2 men. No, that's going to be the ulti right there. It's going to be enough. Jumps away, uses Summoner Heal as well. Big damage comes through, flashes out, does get away. Mowarth forced to flash out, but Gilius wants this one, gets the reveal, kicks him, but he's already been stealthed, so half damage there. MikeyR getting pushed around. Ziz really trying for that one with the team, re-engaging. Looks like they're going to try for this turret, getting it low. And they do grab it.
There's a good move there to use his last breath, gave him all the flow he needed to have an extra shield, and then he was able to just use his E and a flash to get out. Poked back, didn't quite get Kha'zix, but then he had to flash afterwards. So I like the fluidity of his Yasuo play.
Yeah.
The fact he didn't have really anything covering his flanks. He didn't see it coming. The next time he extends, he's going to need some wards to back him up, because he has the sweeper. He's going to have to buy some by himself.
Yeah.
Or, you know, there's 2 sight stones on his team. Somebody could pitch in a little bit.
Yeah, that's the thing, is this is the weakness of the team right now, is SK Prime, they aren't warding great. They're warding okay. They're warding the objectives, Dragon. They've got some around Baron a little bit right now. They're going to start right here. But if you're a team who's going to be playing the next round, and we just posted the brackets, you know if you're one of the incumbents facing these guys, it's like you can start to look at this game and say, okay, here's issues this team needs to fix. I mean, SK Prime are clearly winning. They're the likely winner here in general, but it's like, look, they've got a tournament ahead of them. They've got a shot at the LCS ahead of them. They've got many more games to play to get better, to be able to challenge, you know, the teams that fall in the bottom. So it's like, okay, your ward coverage needs to get better. You can't let yourself get soloed out and burn 2 summoners to get away. That you can't do that over and over again. You'll lose the game if you do that. So here's the issues that they've got to identify, and the other teams should look at and be like, this is what we abuse. Yeah,
the higher up you get, the less room for error you can make. And they are warding up the objectives, like you said, which is, you know, it's completely fine, but their deep ward coverage is severely lacking, and that's how you close games out.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, it's with 2 sight stones.
Yeah.
Like, they've got freely available like 8 wards on the map at all times with their 2 trinkets and 2 sight stones.
They're doing a little bit more work right now, protecting their wards.
2-man shockwave though, Tiridus keeps himself safe. Kha'zix makes his presence known on the side of this map as well, but SK Prime looks like 5 men heading towards this left-hand side. Tiridus forced to flash away. They don't want to backdoor this turret just yet, but they are going to own the blue buff. That's a good rotation. They're timing objectives. Again, they're timing objectives, and they're controlling things like blue buff. It's the split pushes that have been a little bit funky sometimes.
Now this turret is so close to going down. They see Gilius. Ah, he knows it. Felt it in his bones, and he saw it.
Yep, turret goes down 5-1 in turret, 7-3 in kills. And if I recall correctly, undefeated in Dragons as well, SK Prime looking great this game on an 8,000 gold lead, and now they look for the mid lane.
Oh, split the win there. The teammates. Now, watdefox is going to go ahead and use the wind wall. That's a great wind wall to stop a lot of incoming damage to clear the wave.
So Smitty got to be careful. It does not get binded, but this turret now down to about 1/4. Smitty on the wrong side of the wall. He's going to wait around on this side anyway, though. The ball is already out. And Shockwave's not up for another 20 seconds.
watdefox, he walked up to the Wraiths just to use the Q, so he had the threat of a knockout. Good choice.
It's a very, very smart choice. Here we go. More damage comes through a little bit. Comes down to MikeyR. This turret very low one more time, but they're not going to stay for it. Because again, the threat of a counter engage is high. Shockwave is back up, and they've got a Kha'zix and a Shyvana, meaning engage is a real thing, and Ziz is very low.
Now they're just grouping up in the mid here for Tricked. They're trying to make moves. They're trying to get the deeper wards down because SK Prime has finally let up the pressure for just a couple of seconds here.
And this is the timer. Like, this is what happens is sight stones only have so many, you know, wards in the inventory where you have to go back. your health and mana only stays up so long. It's part of the reason Baron buff's so good, but if you take a lot of damage sieging down a turret because the team defends well, you have to get away from the map for a bit, let the other team try to wrest control, and this is one of the ways you get back into a game, is you play out the timings of, okay, they have to recall, go get ward control, go get wards and defend them, and set up fights that way. And so now Trick, this is the first time they've had a chance to get vision back. Can they do anything with it?
Yeah, and they have a ton of vision that was set up by SK Prime in their jungle. Like, look at that. That is actually really good ward coverage now. With those wards that are right outside of the base. You will see everybody's movements, and you have the key points where people are going to be moving outside of the lanes, because somebody could still go up a lane to you, which is what their ward coverage isn't covering. They just have, like...
And that's why you push.
It looks like they're going to push mid based on these wards.
Agreed.
Because they'll see everybody who could possibly be coming in.
That's absolutely the case right here. We're going to see Shyvana off on the sides. Looks like they're going to ping Ziz to back off, saying, hey, Shyvana around here. Got to be careful. Looks like Bottleman going to have a really big wave that Shyvana will easily grab, so MikeyR's going to get himself some gold. And again, this is still a teleport Shyvana. He can create pressure and show up elsewhere. That should work out okay for him. Dragon once again under fire. Windwall going to come in. Nuh-uh, it's not going to be going over. It's going to be the kill onto Kha'zix. Nicely knocked up. The kick back. Niko's on the wrong side of the map now as well. Exploded there by Graves. 2 for 0, plus the Dragon.
Got him with the nice collateral damage there at the end. So Dragon in 2, they might go straight for a Baron after this. They have the ward coverage available to them. They know there isn't a smite on the field.
Yeah. Well, theirs is down for 20 seconds as well, but it's likely to be up in time. Plus, it's crazy to even get Nessie's one. We'll see if Trick tries anyway, but SK Prime going hard for this.
The really only thing they can do is get a good Orianna shockwave, but even then at this point in the game, with an 0-2 Orianna, he's done pretty well for himself in farm. Be miracle.
Yeah, well, there we go. Dragon does go down 49 to 37,000 gold. Very big lead there. Tiridus does dodge the Glitter Lance, but he's taking even more damage. Smitty's going to go in with the Ignite. Can he get one more Glitter Lance? No, Black Shield will help keep him safe as well. Now Karma for the re-engage. Smitty, though, taking a bunch of pain to the front lines. Big shields keep him okay for now, and here comes Lee Sin. Mowarth forced away. Gets MikeyR's another knock up there onto Salna. Flashes the wall to keep himself safe. But a lot of cooldowns now lost for Trick.
Smitty is so powerful right now. Almost the highest farm in the game, just under watdefox, and really shows there the power of the Lulu. Oh my god, that's going to be a...
Yeah, it's a whiff teleport.
Yeah.
Because he killed the turrets. Exactly. Turret's dead, so it's a teleport cooldown for nothing right there. It would have been a 5-on-5, but they couldn't make their way in. So SK Prime, they find a Baron, they find a Dragon, they find an Inhibitor, and now they got to back off with about 2,000 gold in everybody. Maybe 1,000.
Depending on how
around there.
How long ago they back.
Yeah.
It'll be almost a completed Lichbane there for Lulu when he gets to back. Look at the items coming out. Ooh. Just big power spikes here for everybody. And here's the funny thing, is watdefox goes for the Bloodthirster as opposed to the Infinity Edge.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have the 100% crit build. He has the, I'm still going to roll the dice every time I use a Q, every time I auto-attack you, but I have the sustain, which I think is a great choice for him because of the nature of his composition. You saw him earlier, they're getting poked out sometimes. And like the Orianna ball is the only thing that would stop him from engaging.
Yeah.
And the fact that now he has the lifesteal to back it up is good. And he also has the Hexdrinker.
Yeah, the Hexdrinker was a little bit surprising until he started buying the pieces of Randuin's, because you've still got a Kha'zix and a Shyvana and a Lucian to be afraid of, but at this point in time, he'll be a little bit more okay. Mowarth, level 14, doing what he can. Did go Brutalizer, so he's trying to get a little bit more of a damage spike out in this one, but I don't know if it's going to mean too much. Ziz gets the mid lane turret. That means 7 turrets now down. Means only the Inhib turrets and Nexus turrets remain in SK Prime's way. Can make way towards the bottom lane.
So Gilius and watdefox have shown that they have great synergy this game. They set each other up. What can they do with that to close the game out? They have an inhibitor in the top lane, pushing the opposite lane here. And Gilius have been having a phenomenal game all over this with Yasuo.
Absolutely.
304, highest CS in the game, up against a ranged character in the mid lane, which typically gives you a hard time at the start. You know, you don't always have wind wall up. It's very long cooldown, and you max it last.
Here we go. The bottom lane siege is going to start. Problem is, they don't have good ways of killing this turret. It's Graves and Lulu and Karma are like okay, but not good at killing turrets. And you're fighting an Orianna and a Morgana and a Lucian. Like, That's a good turret defense situation. Smitty is going to rotate towards the mid lane. That's a good choice there. Split pushing a little bit to get some turret damage down and try to separate the team.
So I'm pretty impressed with the overall individual play, like we were talking about from SK Prime.
Yeah.
But I want to see their team fight prowess. What can they do underneath the turret? They are very far ahead by 13k. It looks like they're just going after objectives. They don't go for dives.
Yeah.
Smitty won his lane really hard, 80 CS up. You see the jungler, Gilius, is making great plays for his mid laner, who's 5 CS up, but he's also unkilled. 7 out of the 9 kills he's been a part of. And the bottom lane, which pretty much goes without saying, that synergy was impeccable.
They played awesome overall. Put Orianna back on defense now. This could be a bit difficult for SK Prime. They put the wind wall down, but there's the engage. Mowarth wants this one. Can they get the shockwave down? It's right out now on MikeyR. There's going to be no jump in there. Dark Binding hits Gilius.
Smitty's back to split pushing. He's constantly going to look like he's a threat, and then he's like, nope, I'm mid lane, I'm pushing minions. Yeah.
There was a chance at a 4v5, but Tricked couldn't find it. Couldn't dive in. SK Prime backed off successfully. Once again, they try for this turret right there. Where's the wind wall going to come down? There it is. Niko takes big damage right there. Can he pop the ulti? He does, but he goes down right away. Mowarth forced back as well. Inhib turret number 2 is dead, and now up to Salna. There's the ulti buy as well. Big damage comes in. Shockwave's going to be massive, but will it be enough? Though looks like already 2 members have fallen, and SK Prime have disengaged. Ooh, they lost 1. MikeyR taking a bit of pain. There comes the jump onto watdefox. Guess the knockup gets away from this one, but these guys own the base right now. Turret number 1, turret number 2, the Nexus now available. There's super minutes in there, and that's going to be the game. 32.5 minutes, and SK Prime working for it. There they go. Nexus falls. So 12-5, absolutely great